friends, my name is Lucy. I'm an educator at the Green Bank Observatory, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the fun things you'll be able to see in the night sky in September. And I'm going to do this using an open source free software called Stellarium that you can download onto your computer, your PC, your Mac, your Linux, or you can use their web browser application. So you might have been able to figure this out using context clues, but September is my birthday month. And so we're going to talk a little bit about birthdays today. So one of the things that you can learn about somebody if you know their birthday is you can learn their zodiac sign. So I'm a Virgo because I was born on September 1st. Now, I'm not saying anything about astrology. I don't really know anything about astrology. I know a lot about astronomy, but I do know that because I was born September 1st, I am a Virgo. So let's talk a little bit about Virgo, the constellation Virgo. I have my Stellarium settings set to September 15th, just 14 days after my birthday, but it should still be up in the sky. That's weird. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Let's search for Virgo. There's Virgo. It's right along the zodiac as I was expecting it to be, but it's under the horizon at nighttime. Well, I mean, September 5th, I have this set for September 15th, and September 15th isn't my birthday. September 1st is my birthday. So let's change this and see if I can figure out what's going on. So here, the moon is up on my birthday. That's exciting. Let's search for Virgo. Oh. It's still beneath the horizon. See, I can get rid of the Earth, I can get rid of the planet, and you can see Virgo. Oh, see? Virgo's right there. But when I turn the ground back on, it's gone. Well, you know, we're scientists, right? And we don't want to just take one piece of data and say, okay, nobody's zodiac sign is up on their birthday. And that's not how we do science. So why don't we take another data point? I have a friend whose birthday is January 2nd, and she's a Capricorn. So I'm sure if we go to her birthday, January 2nd, since she's a Capricorn, I'm sure Capricorn will be up in the sky on her birthday, right? Capricornus. There we go. Capricorn is beneath the horizon on my Capricorn friend's birthday. So now we have two data points. So I'm sensing a pattern here. Now, I don't just make these videos without doing a little research first. So I know that on your birthday, when the Greeks were deciding which zodiac sign would be which, they did not assign birthdays based on what constellation was highest in the sky at nighttime. They assigned zodiac signs based on what constellation the sun was in. So it's not what's highest in the nighttime sky, it's what's highest in the daytime sky. So on my birthday at 12 noon, the sun should be in the constellation Virgo, because I'm a Virgo and this is my birthday. So let's find Virgo. Sun looks like it's in Leo, I'm not gonna lie. It looks way, way far away from Virgo. Now, this can be explained by a phenomenon called precession. And precession is just a fancy word for wobbling. So, as the Earth spins, and as it circles the sun, orbits the sun, it's a little off kilter because the Earth has a liquid core. It doesn't have a solid core, so it's a little unsteady. It sloshes around a little bit, and it sort of wobbles like a top or a dreidel might. And this causes a phenomenon called precession, which works very similar to my birthday hat. So when I'm facing over here, my birthday hat is pointed over there, right? That makes sense. But as I wobble, my birthday hat moves and suddenly it's pointed over there. And then as I wobble even more, my birthday hat moves and it's pointed over there. So every 26,000 years, the Earth goes through this circle of precession or wobbling, which means that the North Pole is pointing in a different location. So let's imagine a line that goes from the South Pole through the North Pole and up. So it's just a line that's through the center of the Earth, up and down. And if you watched my first video, you'll know that right now, our pole star is Polaris, the North Star. It's in Ursa Minor, which means the little bear. And Polaris is our North Star because that line between the South Pole and the North Pole, right through the middle, right through my birthday hat, is pointing directly at Polaris. So Polaris is right above the North Pole. So if you're looking at Polaris, you're looking towards the North Pole, so you're looking north. But the Earth is going to wobble. So in a couple thousand years, the North Pole is going to be pointing at a different star. It's going to be pointing at Eris. And then a little bit later, it's going to be pointing at Deneb, and then Vega, and then Thuban. And then 26,000 years later, we're going to be back at Polaris. So this explains why the sun is a little bit farther east than we were expecting it to be, because the entire sky is wobbling. So back when the Greeks were assigning zodiac signs to different birthdays, the sky was in one place. So on my birthday, back way, way, way back, September 1st, hanging out in ancient Greece, the sun was in the constellation Virgo. But it's not anymore, because the Earth precesses. In a couple thousand years, Virgo will be right back where it used to be in ancient Greece. But it's not right now, and that's okay. So we can say that this line of the ecliptic, which is the path of the zodiac, so we've got some constellations that you might recognize. We have Taurus, the bull. We've got Pisces, the fish. Aquarius, the water bearer. Capricornus the goatfish for some reason. I don't know what's going on with Capricorn. It's a goatfish. It's a goat mermaid fish. And then we have another weird one, Sagittarius, the archer horse, centaur. He's a centaur that shoots an arrow. I'm sure that the Greeks had a perfectly logical reasoning behind goatfish and centaur with a bow and arrow, but I don't know that. I don't judge the Greeks on what they were thinking, what they were doing. I just think their constellations are a little weird. So, this path of the zodiac, also known as the ecliptic, is the path that the sun takes across the sky every year. But it's also something else. It's the same line, but let's think about this for a second. So if I have the sun, I've also got the line of the solar system. So the solar system is flat, and all of the planets orbit in pretty much the same plane. They're a little bit at an angle, but that's why they're called the planets, right? Because they're all in the same line. So we've got the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And all of these planets are orbiting in one plane. So that line between the sun and the earth, that ecliptic plane, is also the plane that all of the other planets orbit in. So all of the planets in the sky that you can see are in this one plane. Now, this is where I have to bring up a bit of a sensitive subject. This is the reason that, or one of the reasons that our dear departed friend Pluto got kicked out of the Planet Club. Because all of the planets are in one plane, but Pluto's orbit is way off. It's like at a whole angle different than all of the other planets. It also crossed Neptune's orbit, so it didn't really have any business being a planet to begin with, but you guys can fight it out in the comments. I am not interested in having the Pluto discussion again. So this is a really good way to tell if something you're looking at is a planet or not. So if I'm trying to figure out, for example, if this point of light right here is a planet and I don't have Stellarium or a phone app or a star map to tell me if that's a planet or not, if I know some of the zodiac constellations and I can identify them, I can figure this out. So this point of light is in the constellation Cassiopeia. And I know that Cassiopeia is not a zodiac sign. Nobody ever shows up late to like a dinner meeting and is like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so late, I'm just such a Cassiopeia. No, they say they're a Taurus or a Leo or a whatever. So I know that this star is not in this point of light is not in the zodiac. So I know that it's not a planet. Once you get all of the planets are going to be in a zodiac constellation or between two. Mars is a little bit off because Mars has a little bit of an angle, and also it's closer to us, so that angle seems bigger than it is, but Saturn and Jupiter are pretty darn close to the ecliptic. And in September, we have these three bright, beautiful planets that are visible with the naked eye. I think Uranus is also out, but you have to get a telescope or binoculars to see that. Mars is a really great object to look at in the night sky. especially when it's really dark out, you can tell that it's pretty bright red. It's sort of a rust color. And because that red color that you associate with Mars is actually iron oxide. It's just rust. You can also look at Saturn in September. If you've got some good binoculars or a little telescope, you'll be able to see Saturn's rings, which are always beautiful. But my favorite planet to look at with my binoculars is Jupiter. And that's because Jupiter has some crazy stuff around it. It's got 4 giant moons. These are called the Galilean moons because they were discovered by a guy named Galileo. He had set up a sort of dinky little telescope with some lenses and pointed them at Jupiter, and he saw these 4 objects just chilling around Jupiter. He was like, oh, that's cool. He wrote it down in his notebook. And you know, the next day he wanted to tell all of his friends that he had seen these cool things around Jupiter with his brand new telescope. And so he brought all his friends and says, look at these, look at what I found. But they had moved. So if you go back to Jupiter night after night after night, you'll notice that these 4 Galilean moons move around. They orbit Jupiter, and you can watch them in real time. So that's some of the fun things you'll be able to see in the night sky in September. I do want to plug that on our website, greenbankobservatory.org, we have some great try it at home activities. We've got coloring pages, we've got connect the dots, we have a whole bunch of activities that you can make with household items. It's a really great resource if you're homeschooling or if you're trying to figure out what to do around the house. We also have an online store in the top right corner of our website. There's a shop icon, and you can just go and check out some cool Green Bank Observatory merch, or find some books, study guides, apparel, that sort of stuff. You have found this video, so I'm sure you're aware of all of the other videos we have on our Facebook page and on our YouTube account. And we also offer free virtual tours once a week by a really, really cool tour guide named Luci. I give virtual tours that you can sign up for on our website, going to the events tab. So I hope to see you there. I hope you guys have some good nights and some clear skies. See you later.